everybody, my name is David. Today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't be using examination gloves for everyday tasks. Did you know that a large percentage of the population thinks that just by wearing examination gloves for everyday use, you're protected 100% from the viruses, diseases, illnesses of the outside world? Partly true, mostly false though. Sorry to break it to you. The misuse of examination gloves is a serious problem in our world right now. When people misuse examination gloves, it causes a false sense of security, and it can actually make our current situation worse. All right, so today we're going to be discussing the misuse of examination gloves and what it looks like. Secondly, I'm going to discuss the negative effects that the misuse of examination gloves brings. And finally, I'm going to discuss how to properly put on, use, remove, and dispose of examination gloves. All right. Gloves are being misused by the public and creating a false sense of security. People are using their gloves for prolonged amount of times, and these gloves, they're just not meant to be used for more than 2 hours max. Dr. Samir Gupta, a respirologist at St. Michael Hospital, suggests that his patients not wear gloves for the current situation we're in right now. Instead, he emphasizes good hand washing techniques. He emphasizes that to not wear gloves because the virus does not spread through skin-to-skin contact. Rather, this virus spreads through the mucous membranes, such as the nose, mouth, eyes, ears, and so forth. Now, I'm going to show you what cross-contamination looks like and what happens when you misuse gloves. So, it's going to be ER nurse Molly Lixie, and she's going to be showing us what cross-contamination looks like.
Toilet paper, right? If you can find any. Get some toilet paper. Well, okay, take my toilet paper and I put it in my cart, and now if you can see, I have all these germs on my hands from my toilet paper, but it's in my cart, but it's on my gloves. That's fine, right? It's on my gloves. Well, but now I'm walking along and my phone rings. So I've now touched my hands together a couple times, and I reach for my phone, and I have a text message from my husband telling me to get more.
Okay, cool. So, ER nurse Molly Lixie illustrated what cross-contamination through the gloves looks like. So the paint illustrates the germs, and the paper illustrates her phone. She goes about her business using her gloves, and now her phone rings. Now she touches her phone. Now that phone is contaminated, and when she goes and removes the gloves, she's gonna forget that the phone is contaminated. Go get her phone, and now her hands are contaminated. So yeah, that's what cross-contamination looks like. Now that Molly showed us what cross-contamination looks like, let's start talking about the negative effects that wearing gloves improperly brings. Cross-contamination is a cause for illness and diseases in the United States, including the coronavirus. An analysis conducted by the LA Times found that 89% of the assisted living facilities with coronavirus patients had previous infection control violations that ranged from mishandling highly contagious patients to not properly cleaning surfaces and equipment and mixing contaminated items with clean items. So if your contaminated glove goes and touches a clean syringe and you're going to go inject a patient with some type of medicine, now the syringe is contaminated and potentially put the patient at risk for disease and illnesses. Because they were improperly using gloves. So, and I've been to some nursing homes myself, and unfortunate enough, I've witnessed staff get out of one room and go to one room with a patient, a sick, very sick patient, and then go into another room with the same PPE gear, with the same gloves, and the same gear, and go treat another patient. That's also an illustration of cross-contamination. Now, you may ask yourself, if you don't want me wearing gloves, what should I do? And what should I do if I do have to wear gloves? If you have to wear gloves or any other type of PPE, learn how to do so properly. Then I'm going to show you how I was taught how to use gloves properly according to the book Emergency Care and of the Sick and Injured by Dr. Andrew N. Pollock. Okay, cool. So you're gonna get your gloves. You can put them on regularly. This should be a clean pair of gloves, not sterile. Sterile and clean are two different things, but this is a different discussion. Clean pair of gloves. Okay. So once I have these gloves on, I'm not touching anything else. I'm touching, let's say, food. After I touch the food, I'm taking off the gloves. How do I remove the gloves? First, you're gonna get these two fingers right here, and then you're gonna get this little portion right here of the glove. You're gonna go ahead and pinch that part of the glove, remove the glove, clean hand, and then with this one finger, you're gonna go under the glove. Get that? Because this inside portion is clean. Go around it, make a loop. Now you can touch this portion because this portion is clean as well. And then you're gonna dispose of these gloves in the trash, not on the floor, not in the parking lot. You're gonna dispose it in the trash to mitigate the pollution and everything. These gloves, again, they're not meant for prolonged use. They're only meant for the task that you use them for, whether it be treating patients, handling food, or mechanics, stuff like that. So if you're going to a store, you get out of the store with your gloves on. Before you get into your car and before you touch your car, you're going to remove your gloves, the same technique I just showed you, and then proceed to take out your keys, open the door, and start driving off. Okay, that's the gist of my speech. Just to recap, we went over the misuse of gloves and introduced the idea of cross-contamination, the negative effects cross-contamination has on everyday life, and also we went over how to properly use gloves. Remember, everybody, the best way to prevent transmission of the coronavirus, according to the CDC, is by good hand washing techniques and social distancing. Stay safe, y'all. Thank you.